What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do a Premier League predictions for this season 2021. We're on tier lists. We're going to use this as the best way. Drop in the comments down below what you guys think it will be, and I guess we'll see in 8-9 months who got it right. Let's jump straight into it. Let's do this. Right, so we are on the tier list. Obviously what I've decided to do, so it's not 20 different tiers. We've got first, second, Champions League, Europa Leagues, provided obviously that it is 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and relegated. We're going to jump straight into it. It is hot. I've already tried to do this once and my camera decided to turn off because it was so hot. I'll wait for it to cool down a couple of degrees, but we're still up at like 27 in the office, so it's warm. It's really warm today, so we're going to fly through this as quickly as we can. Right, we're going to start first. I'm going City. I think they're just going to edge it this year. I think Pep Guardiola is going to be annoyed at last year, the gap between them and Liverpool. So I do think they're going to close the gap this year, definitely, and yeah, get the win. I think it's going to be close, so I do think Liverpool will be second. They were very strong last year. Obviously, there aren't really any changes to the team, which is why I think City will edge it. I think you do need that competition for places. If they brought in some signings, if they bring in Thiago, then I do think it could be a little bit different. But as things stand right now, before the end of the transfer window, then yeah, I think Liverpool are going to be ever so slightly off the pace. I do think the gap will close up, however. I think Chelsea are going to come third. They've great signings, obviously great signings this window, and I definitely think they're going to close up that gap. And I think United will as well. I'm going to go with United for the fourth spot, getting that Champions League place, because again, I think that they've made good signing. They've got Donny van de Beek in. If they get, and there's a big if they get Sancho or Bale. Personally, I think Bale might even be better for this season, just for players like Greenwood, get a little bit more experience, a little bit more maturity. I do think someone like Bale could teach a lot more. Sancho's going to be young, just like the rest of them, which is obviously good going forward. Bale isn't the long-term solution, but I just think his experience might be vital for United this season, because it's going to be it's going to be an intense season as well. Europa League spots. Now I think Arsenal are going to close the gap a little bit, but I don't think they're going to be near these top four. I think they're going to be sort of best of the rest, I suppose. This year I like what Arteta's doing. Aubameyang signing the extension is great. Gabriel in defence is great for them. Willian is an amazing addition. 3 assists credited to him on his debut. I think they're going to be a good outfit this year. I don't think they're going to push top 4, but I do think they're definitely going to be best of the rest. I'm going to go with Leicester next, edging it from Wolves as the Europa League spots. I think Leicester are a very good outfit still, although they've lost players like Ben Chilwell. I do think still they are intact as a team. It's happened before. They've lost their best players and they've stayed up there. I think that's going to continue. I do think Vardy is just too dangerous in front of goal to count them out. And yeah, I just think they're going to be just a little bit too strong for any of the others this year. Wolves, I think I'm going to go with them in 7th. I think they're going to also be very good this year. I suppose my concern with Wolves, and why I've not put them ever so slightly higher, would be because of the squad. He used the same squad a lot last year, and it was a very, very long season for them. And I think going into this year as well, it's going to be intense. 1 month shorter for all the competitions that they're fighting through. Obviously, I don't believe they've got European football this year, which will benefit them a bit. But I mean, some of these players could suffer with burnout, and any injury to any of their top guys, Raul Jimenez obviously being deadly in front of goal, could be an issue for Wolves. So I am going to put them in a Europa League spot for sure. I think Spurs are going to be the first team to miss out. They definitely need signings. Leon Bailey is obviously talked about currently. Who knows what will happen for the rest of the transfer window for them. But I do think they need more options up front just to change it up, freshen it up in games. And yeah, it's going to be a long schedule. It's going to be very long. I think they need that depth. They need someone to cover for Kane, someone who is good and can replace him. Obviously, there isn't going to be someone that is of his class, but I think they need options. I think Jose needs options. If he stays with them, that'd be my only concern. Is that obviously they could get rid of him. But yeah, I think they're going to miss out on Europa League, but I do think they will turn it around once they've got some signings and have a decent season. I'm going to put them just above Everton. I like Everton. I like the signings that they have made for sure. But yeah, I don't think they're quite... They're going to need some time. Ancelotti his pull power is insane. They've got some great players coming, but... yeah, I think they're going to need a little bit more, just a little bit more time. Not necessarily players. I think they've got good players, but obviously Doucouré and Allan are going to hold down the middle of the pitch, which I love. I think that's brilliant. James Rodriguez going forward is going to be great, and I think bringing Richarlison in, Calvert-Lewin if he's playing, I think they are only going to get stronger this season, which I do like, but voice crack there. But I do think they need time. Definitely need time. I'm going to go with Sheffield United finishing out the top half. I like Sheffield United. I obviously think they did very, very well last year. And yeah, I think they're going to put in a stellar performance again this season. I think they're going to be hard to beat. But I do think they will. Yeah, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle in some games, I think, because of the way that they play. But I think that they are going to get... I think they'll struggle for goals, I suppose, is what I'm going to say. I think that would be the reason that they're not going to push much higher. I'm going to go Newcastle with top at the bottom half of the table. I like Newcastle. I like their signings. I like Callum Wilson coming in with Almiron, St. Maximin. They're really going to be a deadly fast team going forward. And yeah, I think if they can sort of gel as a unit going forward and give Callum Wilson that support when he breaks beyond the last defender, they're gonna score goals this year. They're definitely gonna score goals. They may concede, but I think they're going to be an exciting team to watch because they are going to be attacking. They're going to score goals. They're going to have options with Carroll as well in the team. Fraser, I think I like Newcastle this year. I do think that they will do quite well. Next, I'm going to go with Leeds. I like Leeds a lot. I like Leeds before the Liverpool game, but I like Leeds. I like Bielsa. I think if that's how you pronounce his name, I think he's got a style of play and I like it. They're going for teams. They're going to attack. They're going to put you under pressure. They're going to make you score more than them, and that, I suppose that would be my concern on the same side, would be that if a team can stop them, they could struggle, because obviously they shipped 4 goals, 2 of them being penalties, but they shipped 4 goals against Liverpool, and I think that could, if anything, be one of their issues. I suppose would potentially be the fact that they did concede goals. Hopefully they can solidify. Obviously, without White, with him staying at Brighton, is a big thing for them. I think it is a shame, but we'll see. We'll see as the season goes on if their new players settle in. If Rodrigo starts getting some goals, it could be a decent season for Leeds. But I don't think they've got a fear of getting relegated. I don't think that's going to happen to them this year. Next, I'm going to go with Palace. Again, I like Palace's new signings. I like that they've kept hold of Zaha at this moment. Who knows? Obviously, there is still time in the window. I like Batshuayi coming in. I like Eze a lot. I think he's going to be a real flair player, a real exciting player to watch for them when he finds his feet. And yeah, I think Palace are going to be. They've always been pretty sound defensively. I don't think they're going to be shipping too many goals, but I do think they'll be scoring a few this season, which will be nice to see. Palace sort of getting away from that relegation fight and sort of establishing themselves in the mid of the table. Next, I am going to go with Southampton. I think Saints are obviously, since that real murdering, basically brutal murdering from Leicester last year. They have turned things round. Definitely Hasenhüttl has obviously was given time, and I like that. And yeah, I think the Saints would just have one of those seasons where they sort of go under the radar. They're not in the relegation battle. They're not really fighting for the top half of the table. They're sort of just doing their thing, and they get through the season. And I think it will be a good season for them to sort of settle, I suppose, a little bit, find a rhythm. And yeah, Danny Ings get a fair few goals again. Next, I am going to go with Burnley. I think Burnley are going to be very similar to Southampton. I think Burnley may get dragged a little bit more towards a relegation. I think perhaps maybe like 4 or 5 games to go is when they secure themselves as a sort of safe mathematically. I think they will be a little bit closer into it. Yeah, I think it will be a steady season for Burnley. It could be one, I like Sean Dyche, but it could be one where they go at the end, right, maybe we need to change, freshen things up a little bit. I don't know, I just see Burnley as a sort of middle of the road team. They're not going to push much higher with things as they are at the moment. I think they will be safe, but I think there might be some questions asked if they can push on a little bit further, maybe towards the end of the season. Next, I'm going to go with Brighton. I think this is one of the teams that will be in the relegation battle. Ben White obviously staying, like I mentioned, from Leeds is a good addition for them defensively. I'm not sure where the goals are going to come from. I suppose would be my biggest concern with them. I think they've definitely improved defensively, which is a great sign. But I still think they're going to be conceding. I'm not sure where the goals are going to come from for Brighton. I do think they will be safe. I think they will get some results against the lower teams. I think they will just be a little bit too strong for them. But my concerns are for Brighton this season. I'm not sure how safe they will be, but I do think they're definitely going to be down here somewhere. Next, final team safe, I'm going to go with West Ham. I think that for me, West Ham have had a shocking window so far. It's not even about the sale of Diangana to West Brom, it's the impact that had, the message from Noble afterwards, the talk of potentially there's a sale of the club coming. And I think the big thing for me with West Ham is they have so many players, especially attacking, that are just not consistently performing. They've either had a great season previously or a great run of games, and they're just not doing it. They have so many attacking players: Lanzini, Felipe Anderson, Bowen, Yarmolenko, Antonio. There are so many. That's probably not even half of what they have, and they're just not consistently. Don't get me wrong, they'll probably take some points from these top guys, but I think they will also get some defeats. Some defeats that they look back on and go, how have we lost that game? I think that's going to be one of their big problems, and I think it's almost a good thing that the fans aren't there at the moment, because there definitely would have been protests at the club on that first game of the season, in my opinion, because I'm not sure there's a happy camp there at West Ham, which I think is definitely going to impact them. I do think they will be safe, but just, very much just. And onto the relegated teams, we are going to go with the team that I think is probably the closest to getting out. I'm going to go with Villa. I think they were very, very lucky last year. I just don't see them. I mean, Grealish signing on a long-term contract I think is good for them, but I just don't see it. I just don't see if they have enough. Like I said, they were very, very lucky last year, and I just don't see them riding that luck twice, to be honest. I don't see, they've not done anything that, to me, that would change my mind in terms of players that they've brought in. I just think that they are going to struggle again this year and just not be quite as lucky as they were last year. Now the final two of the teams up, I do think will go straight back down. I'm going to go with Fulham above West Brom. West Brom I'm going to put bottom. For these two teams, it's the same sort of story with these guys. They're very much yo-yo teams. Fulham and Albion, they've come up and down and up and down. I just don't think they're going to have enough. I think Fulham last time spent 100 million plus and it didn't work. They haven't done that this year, which I think is the right thing. I don't think spending that much money is necessarily even going to keep you up anyway, as proven by them. And I just don't see them surviving. I just don't see them having enough. Same with Albion. Albion great, keeping hold of Dean Garner from West Ham, but he's got potential. But doing it in the Championship, we all know, is very different from doing it in the Premier League. And there's just nothing. There's nothing there that tells me these guys are going to do well enough to stay in the Premier League after this season. I think Fulham, with Mitrovic, they've got potential, but without him, I just don't see what they have in terms of scoring goals. And that's going to be so easy to stop. If you know they're only going to be able to play through Mitrovic, you stop Mitrovic, you stop Fulham. And I do think that's going to be the issues for these guys, that they just don't quite have. I mean, the new signings that they have made, maybe if they have incredible seasons, but I just don't think that those guys are going to have enough to stay in the Premier League this year. So there you go, guys. That is my Premier League predictions, my Premier League tier list. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, what you guys are saying, who's going to win, who's going to go down. What team do you support? Where do you think they're going to finish? Let me know in the comments down below. Smash the thumbs up button if you have enjoyed this, and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. It really does help. There wasn't a video yesterday, one because it is so hot, and obviously I've had to stop and start my camera several times in this video because it just keeps overheating, which is never good. And yeah, obviously FIFA 21 is coming up very soon, and now we will keep our eye on FIFA 20. If anything does drop, I will continue to do videos for that as we get more and more ratings and going through that, and then as we get early access, I'll be there posting videos. Don't worry, so stay tuned for all of that. Let me know if there is anything else that you guys want to see. And yeah, sorry that nothing went up yesterday. Obviously the Chelsea game was on, so I was like, yep, definitely go and watch that. And it was so hot during the day, I just couldn't get myself in here for long enough to get something. But don't worry, guys, content will be coming out basically every day as we lead up to FIFA 21, and then definitely while we got FIFA 21. So yeah, smash the thumbs up button for that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video as always. Peace.